G'day, it's Brad Wright here from singlemalt.com.au. This month we're proud to announce another first for us. We're the first in Australia to be able to offer Wemyss Malts Nectar. The Wemyss family have been around the malt whisky scene in Scotland for more than 100 years now. They were primarily produced in barley production, but they've been around so long that John Haig's of Haig's Whisky set up his first distillery on their land. Wemyss have been experimenting for quite a few years now with blended malts. They do some single cask varieties, but I guess their speciality is their blended malts. Instead of referring to where the constituents of these blended malts come from, they keep this distillery names under their chest. They keep them secret, and instead they name their malts for the flavour profiles that they exhibit. Names like Frosted Molasses, Vanilla Blast, Gingerbread House, and Spice King, just to name a few. Pretty apt descriptions and gives the consumer a real idea of what they're buying. So what is a blended malt? Let's just get this out of the way to start with. There's no grain alcohol in a blended malt. Previously, blended malts have been known as vatted malts. In Japan, they're known as pure malts. They are a blend of single malt whiskies. So there's no grain alcohol added, and in a normal blended scotch, such as a Johnny Walker or something, there can be upwards of 70% grain alcohol to 30% malt whiskey alcohol in the blends. In a blended malt though, no grain alcohol at all. They're becoming very popular. Monkey Shoulder kicked off in 2005 and has created huge waves in the industry with their blended malts. Chivas have just released a blended malt. They're Utless, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Johnny Walker re-released their green label. Naked Grouse is a new expression from the famous Grouse, which is another blend, and also Buchanan's, I believe, another famous whiskey blender, have come out with a blended malt now. So why? What's the attraction of this blended malt? Well, I guess first and foremost, it offers the blenders a larger palette to draw the flavours they want to create from, and also blending of different malts allows you to blend a younger malt with an older malt to smooth out any of those rough sort of edges of the younger malt, and accordingly being able to use more younger malt in your whiskey is going to result in a lower priced product than if you are using older malts in them. So I guess price point is a factor that comes down to it as well. Okay, so let's try some Nectar Grove, I guess is the next thing. Here it is up here. You've probably been noticing it on the screen there. Beautiful packaging, as Monty Python would say, beautiful plumage. Very striking box. I'm not one that gets heavily involved in the packaging, but let's face it, this is nice. It's a lovely presentation box. Nice shaped little bottle. Lovely label. I guess what's else to say? Let's have a look. It's a sort of a light golden colour. It's not incredibly rich in colour, but nonetheless a very appealing hue there. I'll pop this back. Up there. Let's get a glass. I've got a little Glencairn here with the Queensland Malt Whisky Society logo on it, and that's in honour of this weekend's Queensland Whisky Expo on at the Brisbane Club. If you're in Brisbane and you see this video in time, definitely get down there Friday night and Saturday. I'll be there giving a sneak preview of the Nectar Grove, plus a few of our other whiskies that we've featured over the last year. So anyway, let's have a go. Boop. It's a bit hard without a table. Okay, as I said, a light gold sort of straw colour, nothing too deep there. This whiskey, its aging process, It's initially aged in ex-bourbon barrels, between 5 and 10 year old, I'm told. And they're using the ex-bourbon barrels, not first or second fill, but older barrels, because they're primarily interested in the charcoal effects inside the barrel, reacting with the whiskey to smooth out any harsh flavours, not for added wood influence. Right? They're not looking to get wood influence. They're looking to take out sort of the harsh edges. After the initial maturation, the casks are then blended together or married into ex-Madeira wine casks. They stay in there for about 9 months, allowing the different whiskies to marry together and also take on some of the features of the sweet tastes of the Madeira casks as well. So let's give it a go. Okay, on the nose, very floral immediately. The apricots, peaches. There's a what is that? Like when you squeeze orange peel and smell it. There's that sort of aroma there, and there's also some. It's like condensed milk from a tube you used to eat while you were camping when you were a kid. So it's lovely, fruity. There's no hint of smoke or anything there, as we would expect with non-peated Highland whiskies making this one up. Let's have a taste. It's a very crisp mouthfeel. There's some of that astringency there from, I assume, from the bourbon barrels. Not oily at all. There's peaches, citrus, mixed peel, I guess, and then sort of candied fruits. Candied fruit, barley sugar there. There's no peat. Once again, unpeated. They're using unpeated whiskies from the Highlands to create this, so you wouldn't expect any peat, and there is none. And the finish is there's a nice amount of spice there. There's a bit of the oak influence there. Not as much fruit. Not as much fruit as I guess I was expecting. It's more of a baking fruit loaf or fruit bun sort of a taste. And then the vanilla. There's vanillas there, obviously, and vanilla's sort of over a fading out caramel at the end there. It's great. The 46% alcohol really pushes the flavours along. Not too overbearing. Be great for introducing someone who's new to single malts or to malt whiskey, as there's no huge alcohol smash. There's no big peat bomb there at all. There's no peat, and that turns a lot of new whiskey drinkers off. It's fruity. It's not too heavy, but it is still full of flavour. It's a very nice whiskey. Yes, beautiful. I can smell that milk, that condensed milk, the more I sniff it. Fantastic whiskey, very nice. Great on its own. Obviously, Wemyss are sort of pushing the cocktail angle a little bit more, as many of these blended malts are doing. But on its own, it stands up very well. A nice whiskey. Probably more of a summer malt. Due to its sort of fruitiness. In fact, it compares well to the malt we did 2 months ago, the Cotswolds malts, which is a single malt, but this is fruity like that with no peat, but just a bit more of the caramelized barley sugar sort of flavors to this one. That condensed milk overtones and a sort of a baking sort of quality of baked goods to the finish. It's nice. If you'd like to get your hands on a bottle of this, go to our website, singlemalt.com.au, join up. We'll send you a bottle out this month, and more bottles throughout the year of different whiskies every month. But anyway, I'll sign off with this. See you hopefully tomorrow night and Saturday at the Queensland Malt Whisky Society's Queensland Whisky Expo in Brisbane. And until next month, Slan Shavar.